Hey everyone, it's Matt, aka Tech Ranger, and today I'm going to be taking a look at my load order for Skyrim Anniversary Edition on the Xbox, specifically the Xbox Series X. The way these videos go, I generally will show 3 of my major additions to my load order, and then at the end we'll have the list. There's also going to be a spreadsheet down in the description of this video if you guys want to click on that. And one more thing before we get into everything, install mods at your own risk. This is my load order and the structure is mine and it works well for me. It may not work well for you, so feel free to pick and choose what you want from my list and make sure to read those mod descriptions so you don't run into any issues. So with all that out of the way, let's take a look at my 3 major additions to my load order this go around in Skyrim. So something I wanted to do for this load order was switch up the weather mod. I've been using the same one for a while now, which is Mythical Ages, so I figured I'd try out this one, Haze 2. It actually just got an update, and there were a few things that I had to remove, such as the sunlight alignment tweak from my last load order, but make sure to look at that compatibility section if you want to check this out as well. And what is going to follow here is some comparisons between Haze and Mythical Wonders, and then which one I ended up choosing. I started first with Haze. There's some darker nights with this mod as well, and then sometimes you'll see like some really dark nights. Moving to the morning, you get a darker look, but then you get a really bright sun. I like the kind of orange tinge that you get like in Markarth with the sun kind of peeking over the mountains, and you get this look a lot throughout Skyrim. But what I ended up going with was Mythical Wonders. It combines some of the most popular weather mods in Skyrim, so like Mythical Ages, as well as a sun mod, Obsidian Fog, a little bit of Cathedral Weathers, and then a few other mods as well that really round out this package and make it really nice. And then at the same time, you get the ability to actually change the look that you want like you did with Mythical Ages. So if I like a little bit more color, I might pick a fantasy or a Pixar look, and that allows you to use all of these mods and kind of customize them even further. The difference between the presets can actually really change the way that mod looks, but with Haze, it's very much a muted color palette, more so vanilla rather than, I guess, muted, but it's up to you to decide. I really like the mornings in Haze the most, and then when I kind of got during the day, it wasn't as cool to me as far as look goes, but Haze actually does a lot of other things behind the scenes, new sounds, new lighting in various places as we've already seen, and some other things as well that really kind of round out the atmosphere of what Haze 2 is going for. And I really do like the night sky with the clouds. But on the flip side of that, Mythical Wonders with that Pixar preset at night is pretty different. Let's take Markarth for example. I mean, not only do you get the orange from the lamps lighting the place, but then also that really cool sky. So another comparison would be these mornings in Haze where you see the sun kind of peek over the mountains and you get that kind of orange purplish tint, and then you have Mythical Wonders, which is, you know, a lot more colorful, but then you see that really cool obsidian fog in the distance there on the mountain, and then just that early morning to afternoon transition, just to me, especially in a place like Markarth, just looks really nice with those oranges, those greens. Both mods do a really good job with atmosphere, and here it is dark at night, but not dark enough to where you're not going to be able to see what's going on the screen. So I think both mods do a really good job with weather. The lighting, I think, is where it's going to get most people, because that's where it's going to really change the look of your game, and you can change those presets to get slightly different looks. So let me know what you think down in the comments down below, and then we'll get into the next addition to this load order, which I want to talk about. So while I didn't use the Haze weather mod, I did notice the Haze water mod, and I actually really like the textures in the screenshots, and it's a mod that I wanted to check out. The great thing about this mod is that it is separate, so you can use it with pretty much any other textures you have, any weather mod. You don't have to use it with Haze, but obviously it goes well with Haze. One of the best spots I found to actually show this mod off was actually at the end of a waterfall, and this way you can actually really see the textures that Haze 2 actually brings to the table, and how it kind of flows into the regular river. I've been using realistic waters too for pretty much since I started modding on Skyrim for the Xbox, so I figured I'd try something else out. There isn't too much to say about this one, so in the background I'll have some footage of the mod in action, just different places around Skyrim with some water, and you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to check this one out or stay with something like realistic water. So let me know what you think of this one in the comments down below. I'm interested to hear what you think, because there are a few other water mods out there, and I'm just interested to see what other people are using, whether or not you're just sticking with the realistic water 2 or something else. So we got weather and a new texture mod that I'm using, but what about character mods? And that's what we're going to look at next. Now our last mod in this showcase before we show the entire load order is the Reoutfitted Guards and Soldiers mod. Every guard and every hold will have a different piece of armor, so instead of going to a different hold and then seeing just a different color for that particular hold, they might have like a checkered pattern on their sash, they might have a scaled armor on instead. So this really adds to the look of the guards and the different holds, but then also they retain that look even after the Civil War is over in the main story questline.
Then I took an arrow in the knee.
It's also neat in the standpoint of like, well, sometimes there's guards that just don't have a helmet at all, which is kind of funny, but you know, it makes sense. Like, you want to take your helmet off at some point in the day. There was one interesting thing that I did find with this mod, and that's because I'm using the Nord War Legion armors, the new Legion armors. I actually loaded this after this mod, and while it is a lot of extra space, it does do this weird thing in Solitude where it will actually just change certain parts of the guard uniform. So let's say in the Reoutfitted mod there is no bracers, in this one there is, so you get those gauntlets from the Nord War mod. Kind of weird, but I chose to have both mods even though one doesn't cancel out the other necessarily, because I do like to be able to craft that armor from the Nord War Legion armors mod. Curious to know your thoughts on this one, since it's not a massive change, but I think it's pretty cool to differentiate the different holds when you go to them, because it's always nice to have a little bit something different when you go to a new spot other than just the scenery. And that is going to do it for this look at my load order for Skyrim on the Xbox Series X. I didn't run into any major issues with this load order other than that, you know, whenever you're near a bunch of grass, it might drop some frames here and there. I'm not using any mods to actually increase the frame rate at all. It just should be at a solid 60 just because it's native on the Xbox Series X now. However, your mileage can vary depending on if you're using an older console. I have a lot of staples from my last load order in this one, and there's some mods that have gotten like pretty big updates like Skyland, so I don't want to change it up too much. There are some mods that I have my eye on that I will be taking a look at, maybe to put in my next load order video or in future videos on the channel. But what follows now is going to be a list of my load order from top to bottom. Don't forget about that link in the description to a spreadsheet with all of those mods on it as well. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. I appreciate it. I put a lot of time into this one, so any love is always appreciated, whether it's a comment, a like, subscribe, no matter what. I'm always thankful for the view alone, so I appreciate you stopping on this video. So happy modding, and here is that list from top to bottom.